Hey guys, today at clinical something terrible happened. I had a seizure, and my seizures aren't something I like to talk about because for me it's not embarrassing, it's just something I don't like to talk about because some people have weird feelings about people that have seizures and they treat you differently once they know you have them and all that. But my first seizure started when I was a toddler. I just got my final booster shot. I was like 2 or 3, my mom says, and I had a seizure. Went to the ER, they found nothing. They said it was because of my fever. And then middle school happened. I went through another spell of seizures, and I went through high school fine, nothing. And then 2 years ago on Christmas Eve 2014, I seized due to a stressful situation of my car parked in my driveway getting hit by a drunk driver. And then I didn't go to the doctor because it was Christmas Eve. I don't want to go to the ER. It's Christmas. I feel fine afterwards. My boyfriend was here. He coddled me, nestled me in bed. You know, he was taking good care of me, which is all you can really do after someone has a seizure, is just let them know that they're okay and that they're safe. And today I went into a patient's room to see the wound change on his external fixation device. It wasn't even my patient, it was another classmate's patient, but you know, she asked if I wanted to watch, and I'm like, heck yeah. So I go in there with her and another classmate, and he shuts the door. I'm at the foot of the bed. The nurse cut off the Krillex or Cyrilex, whatever it's called, that they wrap, and she cut that off. I was fine. And then she started peeling away the other wound dressing, and I kind of started getting woozy and hot. I was really hot, and I was leaning on the edge of the bed, and I was like, I don't feel right, you guys. I need to step out. And I stepped out. I leaned against the wound care cart that she had parked outside of the patient's room, and by that time I got really dizzy and woozy and just went back. And by the time I came to, most of my class and my clinical instructors were like right in my face, like, oh my gosh, are you okay? They asked me, do you know the facility you're at? And I told them. They asked me if I knew what day it was, what year it is. And the only reason they were concerned is because I did hit my head pretty hard. I have a nice little bruise, contusion on the back of my head, and it hurts whenever like a pillow touches it. But I went to the ER around 11:30, 12 maybe. I mean, I seized before we even took our lunch break at clinical, and then I just now got home and it's like 8:45. So yeah, they ran my blood tests. It came back that I have a slight UTI, which is surprising because I'm not having sex and I wipe front to back, and the only thing I can think of is maybe I'm not drinking enough water and I'm dehydrated, or I do hold my pee when I'm out in public because I'm scared of public toilets. So those are really the only things I could think of. But my blood work came back great. They did a CAT scan and everything came back normal. They didn't see any masses, no tumors, which is I'm so grateful for that. That's what I fear, and that's, sorry. As a child, you fear that, and I just want to make this video and let you guys know that nobody's perfect, obviously, but what really touched my heart in the ER was my nurse. She was amazing, and she couldn't hear. She had to wear hearing aids, and she had a special stethoscope that allows her to hear heart rhythms and heartbeats and everything. And on the way home, I told my dad, like, she's not letting her hearing impairment drag her down and ruin her career, and I'm not going to let whatever I have ruin my career of nursing. And you know, they were just, her and the other nurse I had, they were just so positive throughout this whole experience. And they're like, because you know, I told them like, oh, what if I have a tumor? And they're like, really? They're like, do you know how little of a percentile that is? They're like, if you have one, you should go play the lottery because you're in that percentile. And I was just like, yeah. But for people that have seizures, and they know what I'm talking about, it is very scary. You have no control over your body and what it does. And when you come to, you you're exhausted because your whole body, every muscle was contracted and just shaking, and I was drained. I mean, thank God my mom picked me up from clinical and drove me to the hospital, because obviously I couldn't drive, school wouldn't let me drive, and I wasn't gonna drive, but I wouldn't have had the energy if I wanted to drive. So what happens now? I'm on an antibiotic for 7 days for my UTI, which I didn't even know I had. And I have to follow it with a neurologist and the family doctor just so they can monitor me and keep up with my seizure activity, since it's sporadic, it's not frequent and like constant. They can't diagnose me with epilepsy. So they're thinking that because of the stress load I'm under, obviously the stress with school and work and my boyfriend being deployed and everything, they think that has just piled up. And when my anxiety piles up, my body just wants to completely shut down and reboot, because that's basically what a seizure does. So thank God I'm okay. I hope I gave everybody at clinical today a great experience. And for those of you who have never encountered someone with a seizure, as a person that goes through them, I just want to let you know that when we come to and we see that someone has been there to tell us, like, hey, you're okay, you didn't hit your head, or hey, you bumped your head a little bit and we've been here the whole time, just to have that comfort that someone was there, saw you fall, saw how long the seizure lasted and what you did during the seizure, that is the most comfort ever. The only thing I complain about right now is that my boyfriend's not here to snuggle with me in bed and tell me everything's gonna be okay. So yeah, I just got home, I'm exhausted, and I'm gonna get in the shower and lay down, and hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. I have to go to the neurologist. They have to clear me for driving, so unfortunately until I get that cleared, I'm not going to be driving my parents and my brother's girlfriend back and forth taking me to work. I just can't. To school, yes, because that's my career and it's important, and the doctor tonight did say, hey, you can definitely go back to school. Driving, the first thing the neurologist over the phone said, no, you cannot drive until you're cleared. So tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up, get on the phone, try and get a appointment as soon as possible so I can be cleared, and just let them know how dire it is for me to work while I go to school. And if not, I'll have to think of some quick plan B. But like I always say, everything will work itself out. I'm not going to stress over it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great night.